I'm going to define mindset as a worldview, a mental model, a cluster of beliefs that shape how we see, how we think. And it is absolutely critical. In the question of whether the question is most important or the mindset is most important, I will say that mindset trumps question almost every time. To illustrate, if I say to Kathy, pardon me, Kathy, Kathy, why are you here? Or if I say, well, Kathy, why are you here? Did I ask the same question? Same words? Same question? No. And different tone. And it's more than delivery. It's where was I coming from when I asked you that question and engaged in that interchange with you. So what will be heard is the mindset or the expression of the mindset. This includes with yourself, by the way. If you're reading a book, let's say you're reading a book and there is a question in there that's the secret to the universe and you read it on a great day and you're in a good mood, it's going to be the secret of the universe. And if you read that same question, just ink on paper, same question, on a day when you're not in a good mood, will you get the same response? It's where we're coming from. It's who we're being. It's how we bring ourselves to the matter. The reason this is important is that in all of the, or at least most of the inquiry work that I know of, the focus is on the question itself. And it should be. It's very important. The construction of the question, the sequencing of the question, the setup of the questions, it's all very important. What is missing most of the time that I can't find any place mostly is who is the person being who's asking the question? Where is that person coming from? Because it's not just an objective question dangling there. It's coming from someplace. And questions are always co-created with the listener. Because if I ask you a question, you don't hear it as a question? Is it a question? So that means that questions are intrinsically relational. You cannot get away from that. So I want to expand inquiry and how we think about and work with inquiry to include the mindset as well as the actual question. Both are important. And then this becomes, of course, part of the exploration that we do. Now we can move from mindset into how is this related to questions and question thinking. So I'd like you to consider that the mindsets that we're operating in are expressions of the questions that we ask ourselves, and the questions we ask ourselves are expressions of our mindsets. To illustrate, I'm going to recite two sets of questions, and I want you to simply listen to them as if you were asking them to yourself. Notice the impact of those questions on your mood, your breathing, your posture, and then we'll see what happens. And this will take maybe 20, 30 seconds with each set. So are you ready? Okay, the first set of questions. What's wrong with me? Why do I always have such bad luck? How did I get stuck with this boss, this student, this team, this in-law? Why is everybody around me so stupid and clueless? Haven't we already been there, done that? Why bother? Okay, you can breathe. Did you notice some of you stopped breathing? You can breathe. So the impact of these questions was just one-word answers. Negative. What else? Judgmental. What else? Defeating. What else? Mean. What else? Presuming. What else? Depressing. Energy, up or down? Self-confidence, up or down? Desire to be with other people, up or down? Desire to collaborate, partner, encourage, up or down? Well, that's pretty universal. So I'm going to leave this set of questions here, not too close to Lee. And I'm assuming you would like another set of questions. Okay, so take a breath. You want to have a little sorbet moment there so that you can freshly listen to this set of questions. What do I want? What can I learn from this? What's useful or valuable? What is the other person thinking, feeling, wanting, or needing? What are the best steps forward? What's possible? Okay, so what are some words that describe the impact of this set of questions? Hopeful, open, possibility, losing the weight on your shoulders. What else? Thank you. Encouraging. Jason? Ensuring. Reassuring. Expansive. Inviting. Aspirational. I'm sorry? Compassionate. Energy, up or down? Self-confidence, up or down? Desire to be with other people, up or down? Desire to encourage, to collaborate, to partner, up or down? Okay. Now, this is a moment of honesty. How many of us ask these questions? Everybody in this room should be raising your hands. How many of us ask these questions? We should all. So if we all ask these questions and we all ask these questions, what's the big deal? The big deal is typically we don't distinguish between them. And yet, as you've seen, the questions we ask ourselves have a huge impact on our mood, our ability to listen, our ability and desire to relate, to learn. Therefore, it matters to be able to distinguish them. Usually these questions are just running around in our minds. Sometimes we ask one of these, we feel this. Sometimes we ask this and we feel this. And it's sort of like either we have our questions or our questions have us. And by distinguishing the mindsets, we're going to call this judger mindset. These are judger questions. We're going to call this learner mindset. These are learner questions. By distinguishing the mindsets and being able to increasingly observe what mindset is dominant, we simultaneously increase our ability to choose which mindset we're going to lead with moment by moment by moment. So imagine that this is your mind. It takes a little imagination. You have two mindsets. They're interdependent, they're dynamic, they're always both there. Sometimes one is forward, this one's ready to come forward. Sometimes this one's forward, this one's ready to jump in. Moment by moment by moment. And the question is, how can we develop the capacity to observe the mindset that's present and choose the one that will best serve us and others in whatever endeavor we're engaged in?